So this is the project for Breaking Bad. You can see that timing is 76.7 BPM, and you can see that the bars, the tempo, not really mapping, but the bar mapping is all over the place. Because what I believe is that the original track was recorded more as sort of like a freestyle jam, which is possible, like just coming up with different phrases and going at free time, not recorded to a click. But yeah, so this is the project. Let's have a listen. So pretty straightforward. Let's get into it. So obviously the main line is sort of like a slide guitar, and instead of playing that live, I've used the dobro slide on in Logic Pro, and you can find it under guitars, acoustic guitars, dobro slide. Now the interesting thing about dobro slide is that when you have the maximum velocity, it slides. So without the maximum velocity, it doesn't slide. So it's programmable. You can do it that way. So here's the solo of it. Now, you can see that this is done in octaves. So you get the high note and the low note. And you also, let's go into the event. Now you can see that there's a pitch bend, right? So that bend down, right? It's from the pitch bend. And you can probably see it in the MIDI, just right here, right? And yeah, and the whole phrase just kind of goes like that. It's pretty straightforward. And then we have a bass, which is very simple bass as well. Under bass, electric bass, aggressive fretless. Now, the bass looks like this. Let's take out the events window. Very straightforward. Now it's a pretty aggressive bass, that's why we picked the aggressive fretless. So together, they sound like this. And it kind of captures most of the vibe that's in the track already. Now, I did some EQing, took off the low end, took off some, like mid lows, and then brought up the highs because of all that nice little like string and slide contact to bring it out a little bit. And also I send it to a reverb, bus 1. Reverb looks like this. I pick a large space and soft hall 2.5 seconds. Just about the right amount of reverb. Sent about, minus 7 dB worth of it. And those are the two main tracks that kind of carry the whole thing. Now there's this percussion track, which is under World South American Latin kit. It's got all these little like percussive stuff. You can see them over here. If it's large enough, you can hear all the different kinds of percussion. Here's how they sound. Yep. And yeah, this is how it sounds. So it's just like, sort of freestyling, free timing. Although I sort of put the MIDI to a particular BPM, the original track sounds more freestyled. And now we have, and that one also was sent to the same bus, bus 1. And now we have a warehouse kit, which is under drums and percussion, acoustic drum kits, warehouse kit. And it's just little bits of drums. Tambourines and kicks. And the warehouse kit is kind of ambience going for it, so that kind of works together. And now we have little percussive accents as well under orchestral percussion orchestral kit. You can see that this one has really like high reverb send. So it's just percussive stuff. And the end is a big thump. Now, relating to that, there is a reverse crash, right? And I put it in, it's a wave file, it's a bounce in place that you can see. I basically just played a crash, one of these, and then I bounce in place and then I reversed it. You can see the tutorial for that in my other projects with reverse crashes as well. Havana has that, so check that out. So yeah, this one is just like this. Very straightforward. And for reverse crashes, I always find that when you send them to some reverb, in this case, this is the same reverb, you have a better effect. It doesn't cut out so straight, like, you know, right at the end of the file it just cuts off. This one has a bit of a tail. And it works better for that, having the tail. So with all the percussions in, here's how it sounds. Yeah, that's how it sounds. Now, the rest of these are sort of like soundscapes to sort of like pads to fill in the gaps. Now, the first one is an alchemy pad, so it's on a pad evolving ambient, aquamarine static, and it's pulled between whistle, sweep, and overtones. And here's how it sounds. So really some kind of wispy type fill. And this is another pad from Alchemy under Siren's Call, and it's put over here. This one's a bit brighter. So it's an eerie kind of sound. And then I found that I needed even more eeriness to it. So I found this backwards metal reverser. And I kind of play it like these kind of notes, just alternating notes. So you get the kind of like reverse cymbal kind of sound. And I think they work pretty well with the guitars. And that's basically it. Pretty straightforward little track.